Shalom Akim. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone who teach and rule well, and Shalom to the sincere Akim, spreads truth and sincerity. Shalom. So in this video, I want to go into one of the beautiful scriptures that are written in Sirach, chapter 37. Which go into, how we, in the life that we live, come across, certain things or situations, and eventually, we have to decide whether the experience that we have received from that is something that we actually, like or don't like, and how we, based upon that experience, should decide whether or not, to keep, doing those things, yea or nay. So this is Sirach chapter 37 in verse 27. My son, prove thy soul in thy life, and see what is evil for it, and give not that unto it. So the advice that we have been given through the scriptures is to see what basically gives us a bad time. Test out the things that we encounter in our life, and the things that basically give us a bad time, which evil is a, compound word, basically, which goes into bad time, Eve and ill, a bad time. So if we, do give, ourselves over to the bad things, it's gonna be negative experiences, man. You're gonna have negative results. You're not gonna be, speaking for myself, gonna be as happy, as you would be, afterwards, if you would choose or opt for things that will be more in line with the things that, don't give you a evil time, but basically a good time, and you can think about that and apply it for literally everything, in your life. For instance, if I would, reflect it on the truth, for instance, the way of studying, if I would do things more through the spirit without having a schedule for it, I know and understand that that's gonna basically F me up, man. Because if I would do things according to how I feel, what I feel like, what I want to do, then the flesh is gonna take over, man. But if I basically put my body in subjection, and use a sort of routine, use a sort of schedule, throughout the week, I know I'm gonna do that, man, because what helps me more is structure instead of doing things basically, quote unquote loosely or, through the spirit, and you can also apply this to drinking. If you drink certain liquors, I know that I like the spiced rum. If I like the spiced rum, I'm gonna have a good time. The taste is gonna be good, the day after, depending on how much I drink, and ate, I'm gonna feel okay. Of course, I'm still gonna have the aftermath of having, drunken alcohol, but I know if I drink, the whiskey or the cognac or, the gin, whatever all them things are, I'm not gonna enjoy that as much because the taste to me, it's not nice. You see? Same thing with beer, man. Brothers might like beer, you know, different type of beer, the stouts, the blonde beers, whatever. But the brothers like wine, but you have to choose that which is most close to your own heart, man. Of course, that also has to be in righteousness' sake. We should not indulge, and overindulge, in the consumption of alcohol, because there are even brothers out there that don't even drink, man. The only time that they drink is during the Pasach, because then it's obligated for us to drink the wine. You see? So this also has to, be applied with a certain amount of understanding and wisdom, because you need to understand that it's not always possible, for 100% to do the things that only, give you a good time. Because if you are, for instance, with the brothers and they like to be outgoing and go places, but you're not an individual that does that, Scripture says we should not forsake the assembly, as some basically do, man. That's written in the book of Hebrews. So sometimes you should not only look at your own self and see what you want, because it's not about you within this truth, man. It's about, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua and the congregation, man. So there should be a balance considering that as well. So if brother's going to be outgoing, but you, because I myself, I'm a housebird, man. I like to be at home, do my own things, and shut myself off from the world. But in this truth, that's not possible, man. So, we have to give and take, man. We have to go out there, spend time with the brothers, go and see places, If you don't like to go to the beach, hey, go to the beach, when the occasion is there, because it's an opportunity for you to be with the brothers, and the next time, you might be able to fix up something where you basically at home, chilling with the brothers, watching a movie, listening to music, drinking some wine, eating some food, you see. So these are things that you can apply to yourself, and look at things of how you used to do them and see, is there a better way to do it which is not giving me such a bad time. Because in the beginning of the truth, I used to work, with a certain schedule, man. At first, when I came into the truth, I studied every day. Man. Why? Because it was new. I wanted to eat all the knowledge, man. But then after a while, life hit, got dreams that I was studying too much, that I can't take all the books with me anyway, and that, I should, lessen it a little bit, become more balanced. One of the brothers recommended me that I should do these things through the Spirit, which I for myself found out that's not a way for me that I can work with, and to be honest, I actually hate structure, man. Like, I hate to have a structured life because it keeps me bounded in a certain way. Like, it basically chokes me out, but when it's done correctly for me, I can actually thrive because of that, because I have a certain structure, Similar way to how the military has structure, man. You do have a certain routine every day, and you don't even have to think about what you're gonna have to do, man. For me, that's also very, I say that very comforting. Now that I'm talking about it, I'm also thinking about, working out, man. Back in the days, I used to um, uh, be a bodybuilder, from age 17 to 22, even was thinking about competing. But before that actually happened, I decided to put that off from me because I was like, why am I doing this? It availed nothing. What is the benefit to doing this, man? If something happens, I can even fight for myself. Then I opted, for MMA. Actually, I started off with kickboxing, then I was like, yeah, what happens if I go to the ground? Then I messed up. Then MMA, then I met, the brother Taza Bashar from GMS Holland, who I'm standing in the camp with, GMS South Holland. And then as time progressed, I did that for a lot because I did 5 days a week. Then it became less because, hey, you have to make a different structure. Eventually, did some weightlifting again. A long time nothing because I wanted to focus on the truth, which was all out of balance. But then, now in 2024, after being through all them things, working out, not working out, MMA, no MMA, I have come to something that is really beneficial for me in the way that I like to work with a certain structure, but yet, being not bound to any structure. Why? Because if I would still be doing MMA, I will be tied to the time that it will be given in the MMA gym, of course. Right now I'm doing powerlifting, which powerlifting helps me to, build strength, see some progression, work on myself, and I only have to do it, 2 to 4 times a week, which usually I go twice a week and sometimes 3. But I work with a program on my phone, an app that gives me a certain structure, man. I just follow what is mentioned there, and I make progress without having to think about too much. Which that's, like I said earlier, comforting for me. not having to think too much and just go by the routine or the structure that I have applied to myself without being too choking for myself. You see? So when we read Sirach chapter 37 verse 28, it says, "For all things are not profitable for all men." So not every brother, is profiting, by the same thing, has benefits by the same things, man. One brother, he might be able to thrive by doing things through the spirit, man. Going into the scriptures, doing things with making videos, which the making videos with me, that does come through the spirit, but the studying I have to do in a very structured and mannered way, because yeah, after a long day of work, we actually want to have a little bit of rest, right? But yeah, that's not possible because we have a duty, man. We have been given the task to occupy till Yahweh Shai comes back, which means to work. So we have to find ways for ourselves, to have a balanced life and be productive, man. That is really what it is, man. So we have to see in our life, what gives us bad things and what gives us good things, and we should focus on the good and beneficial things that are given into our life, so that we are able to reap the benefits, of what comes with that. Because if you're doing something constantly that you don't like to do, or that gives you a messed up feeling, you're not gonna feel good yourself, man. And you're gonna be heavy in the mind, man. You're gonna be heavy-hearted, which that's not a good thing neither, because the scriptures talk about that a heavy heart, cause people to die, man. And of course, we can't escape, the trials and tribulations, and the curses that are upon our people. We cannot escape those things that are given unto us, the Israelites. But we do have a chance and opportunity every day to basically choose that, over choose that which is good over that which is evil, man. And is that going to be easy? No, because you're going to have to give and take, man. Like I mentioned earlier, man. You're going to have to give and take. So like I mentioned as well, sometimes you got to give a little bit, in order to spend time with the brothers, and to do that which they like to do. And other times, you're on the receiving end. Why? Because you then, had the possibility, to chill at someone's crib, do some barbecue, watch some movies, listen to some music, have a talk, which we are peculiar people, man. And we come from all different ways of lives, So also the scripture says that we have to basically listen to our soul as well, man. Like that gut feeling, like if something isn't feeling good, something's feeling off, then that might not be the thing for you, So yeah, this is something that I wanted to talk about. Of course, I've made videos about this topic in the past, but as you grow older within the truth, you're gonna have more examples. You're gonna look at things in ways differently. Why? Because you're maturing, you're aging like a fine wine. You become more wise in the mind. You have more understanding. You're gonna apply scriptures here and there. You're gonna look at situations like, what is this actually doing for me? Is it actually a good thing that is happening, or is it a bad thing that is happening? So yeah, that's basically how I approach situations now in my life, and see what is giving me a bad time and what is giving me a good time, man. And of course, you got to be balanced with that, give and take a little. So with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Kakodash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone who teach and rule well, and shalom to the sincere Akyam, spreading truth and sincerity. Shalom.